Yes, people. Welcome back to GNA TV. And before we move forward, let's cue that goddamn intro. Yes, people. Welcome back to GNA TV. I hope you guys are well, wherever it is that you may be around the world. It is bank holiday for us where we are. So for me, it is a bank holiday special. We are going to open up them lines. We're going to make this a long stream today. I thought, you know what? Bank holiday. Everyone's probably sitting at home. They want to talk about all the news that's been going on today with Jules Koundé, the news about Saul Níguez. We are going to tackle all of that. And the way we're going to do that is going through each and every tweet from the biggerish journalists and giving our views and opinions on it. The lines will be open. Deadline day, transfer deadline day is not far away. The end of transfer deadline day is Wednesday, I think, isn't it? I think so. Look, where are we? 29th, 30th? Can't remember, one of them days. But guys, how are you? Before we move forward, there's nearly 30 of you here already, a minute in. Make sure you smash that like button. I need to get to 50 likes as quickly as possible. Let's do that. Subscribe to the channel. We're on the route to 2.5k subscribers. We can't make it without you guys helping. Please share on all your socials as well. Let everyone know that we're live. Everyone's probably sitting at home, bored, nothing going on. And we're here to tackle the Chelsea stuff, the big Chelsea news, and Koundé, the Koundé news. He still isn't a Chelsea player. He still isn't a Chelsea player yet. He has flown to Paris. He's left the Sevilla camp pretty much in his own way, trying to push, you know, that exit. He wants the exit, and him sitting in Paris for me is because he's waiting for Chelsea and Seville to sort out the fee side of things. He'll probably have a medical in Paris, which is what I think will probably happen. And then from Paris, he will then fly to London, and hopefully we see him holding a shirt. But we're going to talk, because there's been some implications this morning. Some of the tier 1 journalists have been coming out saying there's been an issue with Sevilla and what they want in regards to fees and things like that. So let's delve into it. I'll give you my thoughts and opinions. Then you guys can get involved. The line's going to be open sooner rather than later today as well. But please make sure you smash the like button. There's 35 of you here. I need 50 likes, guys. We need 50 likes. Let's go through the chat with you guys already. Good morning, Fator. It's bank holiday. He is a heavy sleeper. I know that. Big up to him. Rebecca is in the house. Big up to her as well. She's saying make sure you smash the like button. We are going to talk a little bit about Marina, because all over Twitter, some Chelsea fans are having a meltdown again. Oh, no, it's 2017 again. We're not going to sign anyone. You know, get rid of Marina. This is going to be a crap transfer window. We are going to talk about all that as well, because it's just a little bit over-exaggerated, you know, a little bit over-exaggerated. Can we see Tuchel falling out with the ball quickly? Haven't gone on one of his first-choice target. Haven't got one of his... Well, they have, though, Sosa, haven't they? They've got the most important target this season in a striker. 97.5 million for Romelu Lukaku to Chelsea has been done. So when people say we've had a shit transfer window, we haven't had a shit transfer window. I said if we could, and I said this at the beginning of the transfer window, if Chelsea could sort out the one big issue, which was the striker issue, and not sign anyone else, I would be cool with it. But the fact that it would be linked to the Jules Koundés, the Saul Níguez's, and etc., people were starting to panic and say, well, hang on, we were linked with them and we were meant to have got them. And because we haven't got them, it's been a shit window. Like, we need to just relax, man. There's still 2 days to go. Some of these deals might be done on deadline day. We have to bear that in mind. Might be done on deadline day. Big up to Concierge of Crime. Big supporter of the channel as well. Hope he's well. Big up to N17, Jorginho. Man like Matt is in the house as well. Ads, DHC, Bobby is here. Gundo is now boring the crap out of me. Tell me about it. That's probably deserve a red card against Wolves. I think so. I thought they were lucky yesterday. I thought Wolves should have won 2-3-0 in that game. And their pace merchant was struggling to get in the game. Time this deal was sorted. Yeah, well, We're going to delve into all this. Big up to C1 London as well. Big up to why Chelsea stopping Cho going on loan. We're going to talk about Cho. I've got one little article open for Cho as well. Just going to give my thoughts on that. 41 of you here. That means we need to have 50. We can push for the 50 likes, guys. We can push for the 50 likes. We can do it. Bro, you overpaid Lukaku. Why, Abdi? Why have you overpaid Lukaku? Why do you think we've overpaid? We can't let Sevilla mug us. No, but we can't let Sevilla mug us. But at the same time, Sevilla can't hold a player at their football club that doesn't want to be there. The guy has made it clear in his actions by flying away from Sevilla and sitting in Paris. So, you know what I mean? It's mad. Let me just go through the topics. Anyway, we're done for streaming, Jim. I am more interested in CDM now. Yeah, well, like I said, Bobby, the link's going to be in the chat soon. Let's go through the topics because I want to get them out of the way, give my thoughts and opinions. We're going to talk about Saúl Níguez, Rice and Tchouaméni as well, guys. Make sure you stay tuned. Let's do this. Big up to Josh as well. Big up to him. Right. First bit of news we are going to go through, guys. Let's talk about the news from... I've got a couple from Simon Phillips, haven't I? This one. This is everything. This is news that's come out today, I believe. Yeah, this morning. Simon Phillips. Chelsea have agreed a verbal fee with Sevilla for Jules Koundé, but the club are now reportedly asking for 13 million on top of that. Unless they reduce their asking price, Koundé to Chelsea is now unlikely. So this was the first initial tweet that Simon Phillips come out with. And then in the space of about, I think, 5 or 10 minutes after that, there was another one. We're going to bring that up in a second. My thoughts on this. Chelsea have agreed a verbal fee with Sevilla for Jules Koundé, but the club are now reportedly asking for 30 million on top. Now, we already know that Sevilla have really dropped their asking price for Koundé, probably because of him. Number one, him trying to push himself out the door. Number two, probably because they know that Chelsea are not going to accept. Chelsea are not going to accept a higher fee as of what it is that they want. So, what I think the situation is here is that we've thrown something at them. They've probably not said yes or no, but the fact that they're not asking for us to go back to the 70, 80 million, which is what they're asking for originally, we're probably thinking to ourselves, we can probably, get him for cheaper. Now, I just think that in this instance, unless they reduce their asking price, Koundé to Chelsea is now unlikely. We've always had from the last couple of days, we've always had in our heads that Sevilla are going to accept a bid from Chelsea around 50 million euros to 60 million euros. It's something that we did live on here as well. And I don't think that that's moved. I think maybe Sevilla are asking for a little bit more now, as of to say, look, if you're that serious and you do want him, this is what we want. 55 to 60 million euros or 65 million euros might do it. But I don't think Chelsea are willing to pay any more than 55. And there's been a lot of talks that Chelsea have sort of maybe capped where they want to spend on the player like Koundé to come to Chelsea. So, that's the first initial tweet that I wanted to just quickly bring up. The second one that related to Simon Phillips. And then I'm going to look at your comments straight after this as well, because there's a load been going on this morning, guys. Loads have been going on this morning. Sevilla have a choice. Sell for what they verbally agree to Chelsea, or keep an unhappy, frustrated young player in the squad who had already left their camp last week to push the move through. And I think that's the big thing we've got to understand there. And I know there's a lot of Chelsea people having meltdowns this morning saying, we're not going to sign him, it's game over, blah, 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 because a couple of journalists have said that Chelsea ain't going to budge on the asking price. But the big key thing for me here is, do they really want an unhappy, frustrated young player in this squad who's already left their camp? So in his head, he's already said F Seville, like not in a nice way, to be honest. There's not much nice I can say. Make sure I'm at Chelsea before the end of the transfer window. So I think we're at a position where Chelsea and Seville are probably still negotiating an agreement for fee. I think Chelsea have probably laid down a 55 million offer, which is what we were talking about earlier in a couple of days. And I think Seville have took a step back and gone, hang on. All right, cool. He's walked off. He doesn't want to play for us. He wants to leave. But if we're going to sell him, let's make sure we get something for him. And it's kind of a thing from what we understand, there was a verbal agreement between Chelsea and Seville for an asking price. Now it seems like they've gone back on that verbal agreement to try and get another 15, 20 million out of us on Koundé. And obviously Koundé probably hearing that is probably frustrated, and in his actions has left the camp to try and make sure that it's pushed through whatever it is that we agree. So I think we're stuck in a catch-22 here, because I think Chelsea have probably said, look, we're only going to give you this amount. This is what we verbally said we wanted. Sevilla have took a step back and gone, well, hang on, he's just disrespected us and left the camp. Now he's sitting in Paris. The reason he's sitting in Paris, from my perspective, is that I think he's going to have a medical there, if he hasn't had one already. Because let's be serious, this news, we might be well behind. They may be well ahead with this, and we always will be with journalists. Journalists will always tell us news. They ain't usually what's going on at this current stage. So I feel like there's a reason that he's there. And maybe Chelsea, if Chelsea haven't agreed to fee already, maybe they're yet to do that today, tomorrow. We're up against it on time, but it has to be done. We are going to talk about Saúl Níguez and Callum Hudson-Odoi as well. I'm going to go through some of your talks in the chat as well. See what you guys are saying. 58 of you here, guys. Make sure you smash the like button. 50 likes is the aim. The link is going to be in the chat sooner rather than later. This is going to be a longer stream today. The reason I'm doing a longer stream today is I want you guys to get involved. Obviously, deadline day's only around the corner. And I really want to get your thoughts and opinions on how you feel that this is going to go. Not only on Koundé, we're going to talk Saúl Níguez, Callum Hudson-Odoi as well. There's been talks about him this morning as well. So big up to Josh, big up to Addy. There's no way we walk away after Zoom gone. Exactly. And that's the other thing, FIFA Chimmy. That's Himpsy. We sold Kurt Zouma. We don't sell Kurt Zouma if we weren't going to get Koundé. I don't think we go and do that. I think Tuchel would have wanted us to keep Zouma if there was no way in hell that we was not getting Koundé. I will be shocked, and I'm going to say it. This is this is not anything I know from out of here of what journalists have told me, but from what I know, from my own perspective and how I feel about the situation, I don't think Chelsea would sell Zouma not to get Koundé. So the fact that Zouma is confirmed and gone West Ham, Chelsea will, and I think will, push to try and get a Jules Koundé this transfer window. So let's see what happens. Yes, Koundé wants to come Chelsea. Let him come to us. We know he wants to come Chelsea. Sevilla trying to move like West Ham, but they're not that guy. Nippon is fuming. Hi, friend. Can you tell me why Chelsea didn't still sign Saúl Koundé? Because they are good players. I mean, look, they haven't signed them yet. It doesn't mean we're not going to sign them. You know, this could be deadline day transfer news. Who do I think we're more likely to get? I mean, the whole movement of Koundé and him moving out over to, to Paris to try and push the move would tell you that probably Koundé's more likely to happen. But obviously the Saúl Níguez one's interesting because we're going to talk a bit about that later on as well. Regardless of the outcome, Marina is not at fault. West Ham took 4 days for Zouma's medical and Sevilla moved the goalpost. Exactly that. Sevilla have moved the goalpost, guys. They have moved the goalpost massively. 75 of you here right now. Smash the like button, guys. Let's get to 50 likes if we're not at already. I'm actually going to check how many likes we're on at the moment because I can do that while multitask. We're at 46 likes. Come on, 4 away from 50. Let's try and get to the 50 mark and then we'll hit the 60. The link will be in the chat for you guys very, very soon as well. Why did we wait this long? Obviously, Sevilla have gone back on their word. You know, there was a verbal agreement between Chelsea and Sevilla have turned around and requested more. Let's get to 7K at the end of the year. Big up to Hassan. Yeah, the route of 7K is going to be hard, but I'm sure we can do it. I'm sure we can get to 7K, providing that you guys continue smashing the like button. Subscribe to the channel as well. Sevilla has given us a deadline 2 weeks ago about a fee we agreed. Sorry, as much as we praise Marina, this is Marina's fault. She knew this. But Galacticus, and this is great because it's good that I have in the chat some Marina, not say outers, but people that are not happy with Marina because I really want to get their thoughts and opinions. Galacticus, the lines are going to be open soon, mate. I would be happy for you to come on and have a chat with us and about how you feel about Marina. Because from my perspective, you can't question her until the transfer window is finished, right? Koundé's sitting in Paris. We don't know really what's going on with Saúl Níguez yet. We're only taking on what we're being told by the journalists. And we already know that the journalists at the moment are not always 100% accurate. So let's try and not jump the bandwagon. That's all I'm trying to say. If we get a Jules Koundé and we don't get a Saúl Níguez, that's still a great transfer window. If we get Saul Níguez but we don't get Koundé, that's still a great transfer window. If we get both, it's a great it's an extra great transfer window. If we don't get any of them, we still got our number one targets. Do you know what I mean? We still sorted out our number one target, which was signing a striker. In my eyes, anyway. So, big up to 50 likes already. 73 of you here. Big up to you all. And we've also got a Discord group. The link into the Discord group is there. Click on it. It will take you into the GNA community group chat. That's where we put all of our uploads for YouTube streams, so you guys won't miss it, because sometimes YouTube don't let you guys know when we're live. So that's a way you can execute. Plus, we've got an open general chat in there, which means everyone that's here goes over there and chats. I'm in it as well. Some other individuals are in it. We can all have a chat about some of the news as well. This is Sevilla's fault, is what Jordan's saying. I feel like it's a mixed group today, man. You guys are having it in the chat. Where you have gotten your crazy news that Koundé will be unhappy at Sevilla if he stays there. You Chelsea guys said the same stupid stuff about Haaland, thinking that he will be unhappy at Dortmund. Well, listen, Bright. Let's be serious, mate. Did Haaland leave the camp? Did he not? Did he choose not to train? This is completely two different stories. This is two different transfer windows, mate. Like, do you know what I mean? This is two different situations in this. Koundé has left the camp to sit in Paris, so that pretty much saying, I don't want to be there. That's what we've been told, and that's what we know from up to now. He's not training. He's not playing games. He's not like, you know what I mean? If we saw him playing for Sevilla, then you might think to yourself, well, hang on, there's a good chance that he's not pushing for this to happen. And if it happens, he'll go. If it don't, he's happy there. I don't think that's the situation. I think he's actually wants to leave, and that's why he's pushing himself out the door. You know, so I don't say Marina out, Jim. I am saying this is her fault for leaving this late, because Sevilla want a replacement. I remember Waldo got 30% off then the fee. That's why Sevilla increased the price. I hear that. I do hear that, Galactus. I do hear that. And we're going to talk Marina more, but I do need to fly through this. Jim, you should do a stream every day. I am going to try. I will be more consistent with it. Don't get me wrong. I do try and stream once a day for you guys as much as possible. Josh says he's in France. So yeah, there's a lot of people in the chat sort of back and forwards here. It's good to see. It's good to see you are having not disagreements, but you know what I mean? It's good to have thoughts on both. This is the thing, guys. We're all allowed our own opinions. So you need to understand that. If I think that Koundé's come in and you don't, then that's cool. You know, there's nothing wrong with having a disagreement in this game. Let's be 100% serious about this. None of us actually really know what's going on. The only people that actually really know what's going on are Chelsea Football Club and Seville, and maybe Koundé. You know, but from what we've been told, and Koundé being in France and not training with Seville tells me that he wants Chelsea. Chelsea have obviously offered something. Seville have turned around and said, well, hang on, actually, let's try and see if we can get another 10 mil before we accept this. Chelsea have turned around and probably said, well, hang on, when you know that we're not going to move any higher than this. And then it's probably stuck in a position where now Koundé's trying to push himself out the door. You know, so let's see what happens. The next bit of news that I wanted to bring up, obviously, big up to Andreas Coruscant as well. They've all got different faults. And the reason I'm bringing up all of these tweets for you guys is to give you a bigger image so that you guys can leave this stream after we finish the show and make your own minds up on how you feel about it, because every journalist is saying something slightly different at the moment. Yeah. So Andreas is saying Jules Koundé is very frustrated and has told Sevilla to let him go. Chelsea still don't want to pay more than 50 to 55 million for Jules Koundé. Euros, sorry. As they agreed on the fee earlier this window, the saga is still not over. And of course, it's not going to be over. This is going to go on all the way to deadline day. It will go down all the way to deadline day. And again, there, I think that's more to the truth than anything. This is where I am going with it. Oh, I feel like his movement of him going to France shows the frustration. I feel like, you know, maybe him telling Sevilla to let him go was already done ages ago. Chelsea still don't want to pay more than. I feel like that might be true. That might be why we are where we are, sitting on the fence, not being able to move forward with this deal. And I think that Sevilla are trying to really do us over a bit on it. And, you know, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. There's another comment here. I'm going to go into your chat soon as well. I'm trying to fly through these because I want to open the lines up, get you all involved as well. Absolute Chelsea came out with this comment as well. He's saying, if Chelsea don't make any offers of between 60 to 70 million euros for Jules Koundé today, Sevilla will stick to their 80 million euros release clause as their asking price for the 22-year-old and won't negotiate for less. I think that's got truth to it as well. So, you know how we heard about what I just said about Andreas? What Andreas said about Koundé pushing to leave. Chelsea are willing to offer this amount. Sevilla are obviously not happy with this amount. This is the next step to it, in my eyes. This is the next bit. Because this is where I think we're at the moment. If Chelsea don't make an offer of between 67 million for Jules Koundé today, whether it's today, tomorrow, I don't know if the today thing's serious or not. Sevilla will stick to it. That might be the case. Maybe Sevilla are holding us a bit here and saying, look, we won't accept 55 million. Chelsea might go back now, or if they haven't yet, and throw in a 60 million euro bid. I still think if we get him for 60 million euros, that is good business for us. Us going to that limit is what they originally wanted. That means that we're just going to pay what they want. Us going for this limit is us actually winning, in my eyes. And Marina doing an absolutely fantastic job if she gets it in between that in that region. So we already know that the 55 million euros is an offer that Chelsea wanted to put forward. Probably declined it. Chelsea will probably go back and offer a bit more, I think. It's just whether or not that's enough, and whether or not Koundé, after Koundé finds out what we've done, whether or not he can force them to accept that figure. So I feel like that's where we are with Jules Koundé, guys. 92 of you here right now. Make sure you smash the like button. 100 likes is the aim. The link is going to be in the chat very, very soon for you guys as well. It's like I said, big bank holiday special stream today. We're going to be on the stream a lot longer than we usually are. We're going to open up the lines. We're going to allow you guys to come and have your say. Transfer deadline day is not far from finishing as well. I'm going to go through some of you guys in the chat. Concierge of Crime says, if you're buying a car or a house, you agree with a fee with the owner/agent, and then they raise the price. Are you paying it? I don't blame Marina for not bowing down to Sevilla. And I think he's got a good point there. The fact that we're not willing to pay a certain amount for him is not us bottling it. It might just be that Chelsea have set a price cap for how much they want to spend for that position. If they do go and get a Saul Níguez, which is a possibility. If they do go and look to opt to get a Saul Níguez, and we don't know what his wage structure will be yet, maybe they're thinking to themselves, we don't want to spend a certain amount more than what we want to offer. And that's fair enough at the end of the day. The thing is, right, if we don't get him now, will Jules Koundé's price go up next year? Who knows? 50 become 80. It's ridiculous. Yeah, well, this is the thing. Koundé to Paris for national duties. The player wasn't selected because he wasn't 100% thinking about the match. That's what Javier is saying. Sevilla having mad mood swings. Literally, tell me about it. Sevilla having mad mood swings is what it feels like, doesn't it? That is exactly what it feels like. 65 likes. Thank you, guys. We're on the road to 100 likes. Let's make sure we get to there. Over 85 of you here right now. Let's try and smash the like button as well, if we can do that. Discord group is there. 100 likes, like he says there as well. Hassan, big up to Hassan. We don't want to get Pau Torres. His release clause is 50 million euros. People forget how much we're actually trying to get Jules Koundé for. When you look at Arsenal and how much they signed Ben White, they signed Ben White for how much? 50 fucking million sterling. Do you know what I mean? And we're trying to get Jules Koundé, who is a top young prospect, someone that I've wanted that football club for a very long time, a player for the future. It's not a player just for now. He's a player for a future. Being managed by a manager that's good enough to elevate these players. I'm up for it. I really hope we do get it done. He's a player that I've wanted for a very long time. The press is selling a lot of bullshit. Sevilla would gladly negotiate with Chelsea under a release clause, but that 50 million was literally a joke. Yeah, we might get to the point that when we actually see an initial offer from Chelsea, whatever that may be, it may be a lot more than what we were being told. Do you know what I mean? So, convinced the Sevilla director idolizes Daniel Levy is what Rebecca's saying. That is funny, man. Goal. Sevilla won't want 65 million euros for Jules Koundé amid interest from Chelsea. Their stance is non-negotiable. The 50 million annoyed them. So Chelsea haven't gone in and put in that 50 million euro offer. What they've probably done is they've tested the waters, they've tested the boundaries, they're trying to see whether they can get away with that. We don't know how much Chelsea have capped or are capping this Koundé deal. I don't think Chelsea want to spend 80 million euros, and I don't think Chelsea want to spend 70 million euros. if you want my honest opinion, where I think Chelsea are looking to suspend, is anything between 55 million euros up to about 65 million euros. I think if we get him for 60, it's great. If we get him for 62, still decent. Anything in and around that, I think is good business from our perspective. Now, it's just down to whether or not Sevilla want it. And this is where Koundé is so important. Koundé is so important because if it is true that he's gone to Paris because he's pushing to leave the club, if he's pushing to leave the club, then him doing or making an action after Chelsea put in a next initial offer is important to see what Sevilla do. If Sevilla turn around and say, no, we want 70 million, 80 million, 70 million, 80 million, and he's saying, well, I want to leave. They've offered you 60. You told them verbally that anything around 55 to 65 is what you want. You're laughing at the 50 million that we originally put down. You're not interested in that. And then do you see what I mean? It just sounds a mess. And I feel like it's Sevilla just playing us like puppets, literally playing us puppets. I don't think it's Chelsea as much. People say it's Chelsea because they're mucking around. They're mucking around with what they should be playing, putting down for the player himself. But I don't think it is, Sorry, again, one question. So if you have any news on Reece James when he will return to the Chelsea squad, how many games? He would miss 2, if I'm right in saying. 1 or 2. I think it's probably 2 matches that he missed because he got a straight red card, didn't he? So, yeah. Let's move on quickly. What are we on? 26 minutes. 114 people here, guys. Smash the like button. 100 likes is the aim. The lines are going to be open very, very soon. This is going to be open to you guys. Subscribe to the channel. The route to 2.5k or even 3k. 3k is on. But I need you guys to smash the likes. Subscribe to the channel. Let's get to 100 likes. There's also the option to put in super chats as well. Super chat options always available to you guys if you want me to read out a certain comment. It's down to you guys if you want to do that. But let's move on because I want to move on. I want to get you involved quickly because we are just sitting on the Jules Koundé thing quite a bit. We've looked at that. We've looked at that. Matt Law is the last bit of Koundé topic that I wanted to talk about. So Matt Law comes out, says Chelsea see bids to sign Koundé and Saul stall after both Spanish clubs move the goalposts on the deal. Things can change quickly at the end of the transfer window, though, so I wouldn't fully rule out anything. And this is the thing. All the Chelsea fans are having a meltdown, that are moaning about Marina, saying she's useless, saying she's not good enough, saying she's let us down. It's 2017 again. We've done it. It's a crap transfer window. Calm down. We calm down. We've still got time. Tomorrow night is the deadline day. Tomorrow night at 11 p.m. is the deadline day. And yourselves, you've seen deadline day action. Things can happen like that. Progression can happen like that. Teams can be forced in the corner. Pressure might be put on Sevilla to sell Koundé at that point. Chelsea lay a 60 to 65 million euro offer, and then Koundé's pushing them to accept it. You might just see that they get forced into a corner to do so. But then they're going to want to make sure that they replace him. So it's going to be interesting to see that. The Saul Níguez thing is what we're going to quickly jump on now as well, because we've just gone through all the Koundé stuff. Quick talks about Saul Níguez as well. But I think Matt Law's right in what he's saying here. This is what the situation probably is. I wouldn't say stall. I think it's probably, stall is probably a good word to use in terms of getting the deal done. But in terms of anything can still happen, he's right. People seem to think that as soon as someone says, oh, Chelsea have not offering this, it's game over. It's not game over. You should know that anything will happen. 150 people in the chat. Smash the like button. 100 likes is the aim. Subscribe to the channel. I am going to open the lines up. You guys are going to come on, get involved. Topics, Koundé, Saúl Níguez, Hudson-Odoi. We can talk all about these. I want to know what your thoughts and opinions are. And I also want to talk about Marina, because this morning I've seen all over socials again, Chelsea fans reacting to the fact that Marina hasn't bought in or got these 2 deals done yet. Already saying, oh, she's failed. She's done it again. Useless, blah, blah, blah. I want your thoughts and opinions on Marina as well, guys. So stay tuned on that. Right. I quickly want to jump onto Saúl Níguez quickly because I am flying through this. We're on to 30 minutes. I want to get you involved. So where is the Saúl Níguez news that I wanted? Did I have any Saúl Níguez news? Sorry, guys. I've lost the Saúl Níguez news. Let's do the Hudson-Odoi news quickly, actually, and then I'll try and find the Saúl Níguez news as well. There's been talks about a loan move for Hudson-Odoi to Dortmund. Update: Hudson-Odoi has agreed personal terms with Dortmund. Everything is set between him and BBB, but Chelsea is refusing to let him on loan for the moment. Situation could only change if they get a replacement. I don't see this happening unless that happens. But even if that happens, where is he playing next season? Is he going to be used as a right wing back? Is that the whole reason? Like, is Saul Níguez being brought in on loan to cover the Callum Hudson-Odoi thing? I thought Callum Hudson-Odoi was staying at Chelsea. I thought we were past this news, and all of a sudden now he's getting a loan agreement with Dortmund to go over there. Like, what is going on? What is going on? People ask me, do I think the Callum Hudson-Odoi thing is true? I don't know. I really don't know what is or what isn't true. I just don't think that is the case. Big stream today on GNA. We'll probably have a rotate the panel. Yes, 184 people. Let's try and get. We're going to be at 200 viewers soon as well. Make sure you stay tuned. We're 40 away from 2.4k subscribers. Let's do that, guys. Let's set out a target today. I need 2.5k. Can we reach 2.5k subscribers on a stream today? Can we do that? Please help us push that. Bobby's saying Cho must stay at Chelsea. Enough games this season for him to get to play. This is a short. And this is the thing, Bobby. If we were going to let Callum Hudson-Odoi go, why didn't we do that at the beginning of the transfer window? Why is this all stemmed up now about him accepting personal terms? It don't make no sense. We've already came out and made it clear that we're going to give him time. He's going to have games. Yeah, I want to see that. If Callum Hudson-Odoi, who I think will stay at Chelsea, doesn't get the games that we've been told that he's getting by the end of the season, and it's limited like it was last season, then he can go. You know, then he can go. So, yeah, you know, it's going to be interesting. I'm not going to sit too much on the Callum Hudson-Odoi thing because I don't know how true it is, and I haven't seen a Fabrizio Romano, I haven't seen a Matt Law, I haven't seen anyone really come out and talk about this Callum Hudson-Odoi thing. You know, so we will leave that there. The last bit of news before I open up the group and the chat to you guys is this news. The news from Simon Phillips in regards to Saul Níguez. He came out and said this. Let me just check how many likes we've got as well. We're at 84 likes, guys. We should be on 100 likes now, man. There's nearly 200 people here. Let's try and get that. Let's try and get to 100 plus likes on the chat, please, guys. Saúl Níguez news. Simeone comes out and says, we talked to him. I told him what I think and feel. There's not much else between now and Tuesday. We'll see. We know what that anything can happen in football. Now, what are my thoughts on that comment? I feel like that comment there is a comment of, we want you to stay, even though you probably want to leave. I'm not going to force you into making a decision. But, you know, if you stay, you play for the team. If you don't, you want to go, cool. That wasn't what I'm trying to say is that wasn't a confident comment from Diego Simeone. I got a feeling Saúl Níguez does want to leave. The issue I think we've got with the Saúl Níguez thing is his wage. The guy's getting paid, I believe, is it 300k? How much is he on wages? I need to have a look at this. Saúl Níguez wages. What is Saúl Níguez wages? Saúl Níguez is wages. Sorry, guys, I'm just trying to find out what Saúl Níguez's wages is. Saúl Níguez's wages at Atletico Madrid, if I can find him. Saúl Níguez is 300,000 euros a week. He's taking home a base salary of 14.4 million euros a year. That's how much he's taking home. You know, that's a lot. I think the delay is his wages. I don't think Chelsea are going to want to pay. What is that? 300,000. What is that in wages? Let's have a look. In sterling, I don't know what that is. In sterling is £257,000 sterling. That's a lot of money for a player on loan. I don't see Chelsea offering anything near that for Saúl Níguez. So the only thing I feel like, even though we might be in the front run for him, I don't see how we offer him 257,000 a week. I'd be shocked if we offer him that much. I reckon we're probably looking more closer to the 200s, the 180s, the 190s, something like that is what I think we're trying to do with Saúl Níguez. Are we at 100 likes? If we're at 100 likes, I'll release the link in the chat. 207 people here right now. We're 4 away from 100 likes. We get to the 100 likes, the link goes in the chat. We're going to talk the Koundé news. We're going to talk Saúl Níguez news. We can talk Saúl and Hudson-Odoi news. This stream is open and is going to be live for a little while. I'm going to keep this stream is basically going to be for you guys to come in and have your say, and I'm going to keep it open. It's not going to be your normal hour to an hour and a half stream. This is going to be probably around a 2-hour stream today for you guys as well. We're 30 away from 2.4k. Push it, guys. Let's try and get up to 2.4k subscribers, please. Let's try and do that. I want your thoughts and feelings. We're at 105 likes. Big up to everyone for doing that. Let's put the link in the chat. Link is in the chat for you guys to come in and have your say as well. Come and join me. Sevilla want 55 million for Koundé. That's a bargain. Why don't we just pay it? He's the best young centre-back in the world. They might do. Chelsea might pay that. We don't know. But we will find out how much Chelsea want him. That's the thing we need to understand. We will find out very soon. We will find out how much Chelsea will want him, because they will then have to pay that amount, wouldn't they? If that's what it is to get him. If we want him and that's what he has to go for, then that's what we pay him for, you know. But Matt, what you saying, mate? You all right?
Yeah, Jim, man, I'm fantastic. I'm very happy that Koundé, guys, it's still happening. I mean, I think there's just a bump in the road. Saul looking like it's still going to happen too. I feel like, again, this is the transfer window. We've seen this with every single signing that's ever happened. There's always with Chelsea Football Club. They want more money. They want the same thing with Lukaku happened. That 2 days before they were asking for 130. So we see this with Koundé. You know, I think he's already completed his medical. We've seen Tiggs come out leaking that he's creating a video for the Chelsea welcoming Koundé page. So
is it? Say that again. Say that again, mate. Sorry, I didn't hear. You said something about that. Yeah,
Tiggs video.
Yeah,
he leaked out coming that he's creating because you know how he creates welcoming to Chelsea.
Yeah.
Videos.
Yeah.
He leaked out coming that he's doing a Koundé one because he posted something that Koundé commented. So that's what he does. He posts like little leaks of what players like to confirm that he's making a video. Yeah. So he did that with Koundé.
Interesting stuff. We have to make sure we stay tuned, guys. There's over 200 people in here. Let's go and get to 150 likes. 2.5k subscribers is the road that we were trying to get to as well. Rutwick says, do you think we could make a surprise and sign on deadline day? Both of these deals could go on deadline day. One of these deals might happen on deadline day. You know, none of these deals might. We just don't know. I do think the Jules Koundé deal will happen. You know, I really do think the Jules Koundé deal will happen. But the Saúl Níguez one for me, the reason I think it's being stalled is the wages. 300k euros a week in wages is a lot. 257,000 sterling is a lot of money, you know. So I feel like that might be a stall in terms of how much he wants on a weekly basis. But Bobby, what you saying, my man?
Hello, guys. Thanks for having me on, Jen.
No worries. Always welcome, mate.
Yeah, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure, mate. Yeah, this is an interesting one. Jules Koundé, who knows? I'm a bit intrigued by the sort of sudden panic sale of Zoumá, which we were all meant to believe that it was to make room for Jules Koundé. Who knows? As for Saúl Níguez, he's on what you calculated 257,000 a week in sterling. I don't know whether that's net or gross. I presume it's net. These guys are on a lot of money, but fact is that just boils down to what we've bought a player for 12,500 for a year. So it's not. If you look at it in that context, it's not too outrageous, especially if he comes and rips up trees and then we think, okay, we want to make it permanent. That's where it becomes tricky. But it to me, I think that looks possible. It does. I don't understand all this Marina talk. We're
going to talk Marina. I wanted to talk Marina. And like I said, this stream's going to be open for a while, so we will talk about Marina. And Bobby, you can start if you want. Actually, let's talk about Marina because we've done a lot of talks about players. Go on.
I think we're living in an age where we're getting a bit silly about everything. Everything is politics. You know, we've got to bring women into this and into that and into this. And, you know, football's not about that. You know, let's get off this. Okay, she's doing deals. She's done some good deals. She's done some bad deals. She's done some average deals. Overall, it's okay. I don't think she should always be a topic of discussion. And so we have this thing, you know, because she's a woman, this lot want her to be put on this pedestal, or this lot want her pulled down, and this lot. It's getting so silly. I love Chelsea. I don't have a focus on politics. If she comes in and she does well, good for her. But she's not my focus. My focus is the team and the club. You know what I mean? So I just think, you know, the whole thing is just getting silly. A lot of this Jules Koundé situation, and indeed the Saúl Níguez situation, yes, her deals take an awful long time, but a lot of it is because of the sticky situation that the deals are in the first place. And they might go down to deadline day, they might not. I'll just say to fans, brace yourselves for either way. The major thing we've done is the striker. Yes, we desperately need a CDM, but we can do a bit of a patch job there with some of our academy guys. Is it good enough? Probably not, but you know, it is what it is. You know, all this Marina stuff, I think, is way, way, way too much focus. I think some fans are getting political, and they need to get off that horse.
Yeah, I agree massively, mate. I do agree. We've also got Hassan. Hassan, what you saying, bro?
Yeah, I was just listening to what you guys were saying, and really, man, with the whole Saul situation, I think it's probably just wages. I think
Atletico pay half, don't they? I think Atletico pay half.
You're cutting out, Hassan. We can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm lagging. I'm going to come back in.
All right, mate. We've got some news from Nizar Kinsella, who's come out saying Sevilla are playing hardball with Chelsea, demanding bare minimum 65 million euros for Jules Koundé. 50 million euros offer annoyed them. They also need to sign 2 centre-backs if he goes. Similarities, Atletico Madrid want a pathway to earn 40 million euros from loaning Saul out. 40 million euros from loaning Saul out is what they want for only one season. That is ridiculous, isn't it,
They want
Matt?
40 mil. They want 40 mil.
Oh, it's a pathway to earn 40 mil. Yeah, they want to earn 40 mil from loaning him.
Well, they can be dreaming. There's no way we would ever go for Saul. Might as well just go Koundé, because Saul's supposed to be a short-term project. He's in the short term. He comes for a season loan, possibly play half his wages. Atletico pay half. That's it. He goes back the year after. But if we're going to spend 40 mil on him for a season, there's no way we would ever do that. Tchouaméni has to be the next option. He's a long-term option. We need Tchouaméni for a permanent deal. Saul,
what about
is a loan deal.
Basuma? What about Basuma from Brighton?
Brighton aren't selling him. Brighton aren't selling. They're not interested in selling him because remember last season it was the same thing. Basuma did not want to leave, and now Brighton doesn't want to let him go. So I don't see him leaving.
Well, Preston's saying if we don't sign both or any, we've not bottled shit. Respect Marina. Look, I want to make this very clear. If you had the option of getting yourself a striker, and not signing anyone else, would you, as Chelsea fans, be happy? Because let's be serious. We never thought we were getting a centre-back at the beginning of this transfer window. This just come out of the blue with the Jules Koundé things. All right, there was talks that we might need a midfielder, and I get that to a degree. But wouldn't you? Why are we so angry at Marina for not signing all 3? I don't get it. It's like if we don't get all 3, it's a failure. Our main target was to go and get a striker, and she did that in flying colours. We tried with Haaland. We got kind of, let's say, bent over, but in many ways, Raiola was trying to get £50 million. Was it 50 million in wages for Haaland and 25
euros? It was euros on top of 40 million.
Exactly. So, you know, you look at it like that, you know, she's done a good damn job. What she is doing is not allowing us to get bent over. Yeah, this is what people need to understand. Yeah. So Go on, Hassan.
I was going to say, right, Marina is the reason why we have the reputation as the best-selling clubs in terms of deadwood and one of the best in terms of negotiating.
Let's get off that. You know, let's get off that. You know,
exactly.
We're putting this person on a pedestal. Get off that horse. She's doing a good job, fine, but she works for the club. It is the club that's doing this. It's not Marina. And that's why sometimes when you put someone too much
Why is it not Marina, though, Bobby? Why do you not think it's Marina?
She's part of a system. There's Czech there. There's Bruce Park. There's people all around this system. And I'm just concerned that we are creating a situation where somebody who is basically trying to do their job is being hung out in a position she's not supposed to be. And when you're out there, you're there to be shot at. And she's also going to get shot at. And something's going to go wrong somewhere along the line, as these things do. And she will not only be shot at, but she'll be shot down. And that's such a waste. So,
well,
I don't know.
Yeah, before we continue the chat, we've just had this coming from Absolute Chelsea. This is from ABC Seville, big account, and obviously at Sports Witness, another big account. They're saying Chelsea's intention is to make one last attempt to try and sign Jules Koundé. They've told his agent they want a deal to be resolved in the next few hours. So, people, this whole thing that we were talking about earlier about it being resolved today seems like it might potentially be true. Koundé is eager to make the move and wants the Blues to match his pressure. So Koundé's putting pressure one side. The Blues are trying to put a fee down, which will apply pressure to Seville. And I think it's gonna involve both Chelsea and Koundé to try and really get this agreed, because Sevilla sounds like they're trying to take the piss a bit, to be honest. So there you go, guys. It looks like it's going to
Not even he wants to play for Sevilla. Like he wants out, and him wanting out, Sevilla should respect that, because this is a £50 million signing. This is a good signing for Sevilla as well. So I feel like they should definitely make the signing. And one point about Marina as well and the fans, I think the fans expect that because we're the best team in Europe, we should match PSG signings, and we're never going to match PSG signings with their 5 signings out. That's a fantastic deal, but we're unfortunately never going to match that.
And context is, bro, PSG have unlimited money. Like, Chelsea have put a sustained model in. We're not going to break our wage structures and become some sort of team that pays like Barcelona, because if we end up getting dead woods on high wages, we're Barcelona 2.0.
Yeah, that's my point. Marina is working within the club structures and sticking within the boundaries of the club. So we should stop pushing her out to dry, because if it goes wrong, it's her fault. If it goes right, it's her fault. And if it goes terribly wrong, the pressure is going to build up so much that she's going to walk out or get thrown out. I've seen too much of it. I saw this with Michael Lemonalo. The fans were at this guy. I was even observing part of the extra security detail this poor man had to go through, because fans kept attacking a guy that was simply doing his job. And if we're truthful, a lot of the youth we're enjoying today came through that man, but we drove him out. Let's just have it right. We drove him out, and we're beginning to slowly do that with Marina on a different level. I agree.
Just quickly, we've obviously got a lot of trolls in the chat at the moment. They keep
slow mode on.
Have we not got any mods
James,
in the chat?
Should I jump out?
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. It just doesn't.
We've got over 300 people here as well. 320 people right now, guys. 150 likes. Let's try and make that 150 likes. Also, please subscribe to the channel. We're on a road to 2.5k. We can't do that unless you guys help us get there. The news that we were coming out with at the moment, or the most recent news is here. What Absolute Chelsea brought out. It's basically saying Chelsea's intention is to make one last attempt to try and sign Jules Koundé. They've told his agent they want a deal to be resolved in the next few hours. Koundé is eager to make the move and wants the Blues. I mean, to be honest, this doesn't really probably surprise most of us. I think that this is probably where we're at with everything at the moment. In regards to Saúl Níguez, I think there is probably still, even though we're leading the line, I think it's a wage thing. We'll have to see what happens in sort of the upcoming day or so before 11 p.m, which is when the deadline day is tomorrow. And also Callum Hudson-Odoi, which is what I wanted to ask these guys as well. Obviously, potential with him agreeing personal terms and wanting to leave Chelsea and go to Dortmund. I don't believe it, but I mean, do you guys?
I think it can happen, and I think it'll be fantastic for him. I think he needs to go out and play those 90 minutes under a rule where he can play right wing, especially right wing, not this right wing back rubbish, right wing, and he can play 90 minutes because he can walk in that squad within a month. Like, they don't really have a winger besides Reina. That's pretty much their only winger. I think it's perfect for one season for him to come on. We can get him back next season, and done deal. Let's do it.
What Borussia Dortmund are good at is developing young players, and that's what I mean. Like, for him, it'd be perfect because he get to ball out in Bundesliga, and practice or work on his finishing and all the aspects he's kind of weak at.
Yeah.
I don't want to develop him to that player like a Sancho or a Haaland or whatever, because that's what they're good at. Like, look at Bellingham.
Short-sighted and player-centered. Sancho's come to Man United and he's already coming on and off the bench. This guy is going to have more than enough opportunity to get game time. Chelsea are in all the English competitions. There's international football in between. There's the World Club Cup and there's the African Cup of Nations. Well, it doesn't matter. It's still a distraction that will affect other players.
But he should be playing 90 minutes every single game in the DFB.
No, he shouldn't.
He should be. That's what he needs.
Said that.
That's what he needs.
Which main striker or winger in the world has that luxury, apart from people like Cristiano Ronaldo? Short-sighted. This is so short-sighted. When people like Ziyech and that go for the African Cup of Nations, what's going to happen then?
But that's 1 month, and we can deal with a month.
Although, having said that, Hudson-Odoi himself might be going for that because I think he's going to be playing for Ghana. But, that aside, there is more than enough games. We're too into the player. Oh, send him out. And then when a crisis hits like it did last weekend and we lost 2 of our main midfielders, we start scrambling. Oh, we need strength.
But we don't have
strength.
3
then we
attackers.
blame Marina.
But my problem is
Havertz,
with Warriors.
Werner, Ziyech. That's 4. We still got 4. If we
I was going to say,
we can play other players there too. We got still 4 players, still quite a lot besides our 3 midfielders. So and if he plays, he'll be playing right wing back. He may play AFCON, but that's for a month. I personally would like to see him Bane, where he plays in a structure where, as Hassan said, that he gets developed. He plays 9. He plays in a structure where it is developing. Everyone's young there, so that's what they do.
Yeah, I do hear. We've also got Lukaku's clear of Haaland and J93 for us as well, guys. How you doing, guys? You all right?
Yeah, good.
Good to hear. What are your thoughts on the news of Koundé obviously potentially pushing and Chelsea maybe throwing one last offer in to get Seville to accept and the Saúl Níguez and the Cho news? Like, what is it you want to talk about? Let me know.
I think because Sevilla know that we're the best team in the world, they're obviously trying to take more money out of us. I know it's so annoying, man. It's so annoying because on Twitter I just see these Sevilla fans speaking in Spanish or 80 million or you're not gonna game just because you think you're the champions of Europe. You can get anybody. It's so annoying, man. Like I thought this was done because we were hearing about this like 2 months ago. So yeah, man, it's annoying.
I do hear you, mate. I do hear you. Lukaku clear of Haaland. I like that name actually. What you saying?
I just came over it.
Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry, go on.
No, it's fine. I'm done.
I was just saying, aren't some fans strange, Jem? You got some of these Sevilla fans saying, "Oh, we'll keep him. Tell you what, if we had a Chelsea player that did what Jules Koundé has done and has walked away, I would say good riddance.
Let him go, innit? I don't know why they're holding him to ransom. The thing is, right, even if they don't accept it, you're going to have a frustrated individual that doesn't want to play for your football club having to return and foresee his contract. And that just makes no sense. I wouldn't want that at my football club. I just wouldn't want a player playing for me that doesn't want to be there. That's the way I see it. But there's 350 people here. Smash the like button, guys. We need to get to 200 likes. Please help us do that. We're on our road to 2.5k subscribers. We can't do that unless you guys smash the like button and smash the subscribe button and hit the bell notification as well. We've also got a Discord group, which Hassan's going to put in the chat now. You guys can get in over there, join the community there. We've got Quassan. Is that correct? Sorry if I've said it wrong, but Quassan, how you doing? You're muted, mate. You're on mute.
My name is Qasim. Thanks for having me. I appreciate that.
No worries, mate. What was it you'd like to say?
Sorry, I missed the conversation. It's coming now. Is it regarding the transfer or regard?
Yeah, so we're talking about Koundé. We're talking about Saúl Níguez. We're talking about what is it that you want to talk about? You let me know what topics. What is it that you want to talk about? Let us know.
I want to talk about the midfielder. Because obviously watched Liverpool game and 2-man down, which is Kanté and Jorginho, and I spoke last time about with Mo in his channel about Bissouma for Brighton.
Yes.
And I think Brighton want 40 to 45 million. Yes, and I watched Bissouma very, very closely, and I thought he's a very, very good player. He's quick, he's strong, his work rate is fantastic, and I don't know why Chelsea waiting for really, and he knows the league as well, you know, and I think he'd be outstanding signing. What do you think?
The other thing I would say to that is we've not really been linked to him once this season. You know, I'm a bit lost why Liverpool haven't gone for him, to be honest. I think he would walk straight into that team. I think he'd walk into the Man United team. I think he's good enough to play for them as well. I find it very weird that no one's actually gone for someone like a Bissouma. Would Bissouma work at Chelsea? I think so. He's box to box. He's good with the ball at his feet. He can cover. And for 30 million or whatever it is that they want for him, it would make a lot of sense to maybe look at someone like Bissouma. But it looks like Chelsea are trying to go for more of a bigger profile sort of player in terms of a Saul Níguez, and I think the reason they're looking at that is more for the challenge of this year of wanting to win a title, you know. So, and this is probably part of the reason why we won't go for a Tchouaméni. We might still do by the end of tomorrow, we don't know, but I think we probably, even if we did get Tchouaméni in, I think we'd just probably loan him back out anyway for a season, unless if we bought in a Saul Níguez, obviously. But if we didn't bring a Saul, you might see him rotate him and play games off the bench. But you know, I think Bissouma would have been a good shout. I mean, do you agree, guys? If it
but the thing is,
100%.
Oh, I think Tchouaméni I would prefer over him because I think 40 million. Yes, it's a good product. We can afford it, but I would rather go for Tchouaméni. I haven't seen Bissouma honestly personally in like last year, 2 years. I haven't seen him this season and last season at the end, but I've seen Tchouaméni this season. And I prefer Tchouaméni, but I would definitely look at Bissouma. But at the moment, I prefer Tchouaméni.
First 2 games, Matt, he was for Brighton. He was man of the match. It just still the show is outstanding.
I was watching him on the weekend. Yeah, he did really well on the weekend.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
Yeah.
And regard too many, he's 21, 22, and I think he's a bit young because we've got Billy Gilmore from he's gone to Norwich now. He's got that profile as well. I think Chelsea need number 6, not number 8. And I think Bissouma is just to be the perfect profile for that, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think we all have preferences, though. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing. That I think we all have our own what we want to come in and whatever. But my question to you guys would be, if we had the option of getting a midfielder or getting Koundé, and if it was either or, what would be your choice? Who would you rather Chelsea sign?
I think a midfielder would be a lot.
Koundé and Zoumá, they keep getting injured. Like honestly, man, it's so annoying. In the Liverpool match, both of them went down, and I'm thinking, say they both get injured, who are we gonna play? Like, who's actually good enough to play for Chelsea? Not these money chasers like Ruben Loftus-Cheek and that. Nah, man.
Another important thing to this, Jem, is that the rules have changed. We do need a midfielder, and we need a bit of a strong physical person, because all the contact that's now been allowed in midfield is not what it was last season. You know, they've already hurt Jorginho. They hurt Kante. You know, we just need someone that can give it back, and Bissouma would fit that to a T. He really would for Chelsea.
I think so as well. I think the issue now is because Conte's work rate and he's everywhere. You know, he expect after 3, 4, 5 games he would get injured, and obviously he's not getting any younger. I think we definitely need number 6. Regard the Loftus-Cheek, he's more attacking, more like number 8, and he's a bit. Sorry to say that, guys, he's a bit injury prone, and we need someone really reliable. You know, especially the champion of Europe is going to go everywhere, so we need fit squad. If you know what I mean, guys.
Yeah. No, I agree. I do agree with that as well. We're 1 away from 2.4k subscribers. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Jim, I was about to say that. I was about to say get 2.4k.
Getting us there as well. Like I said, if we can get to 2.5k subscribers on this stream, that would be amazing. That means we'll be halfway on our road to 3k, which is massive for this channel. We appreciate the support. Like I said, you will. There is a GNA community Discord group, which Hassan's putting in the link in the chat for you guys to join. So after we finish here, you can always jump in there and catch up with everyone that's a part of the community as well, and we can talk about stuff there. So there's always options to do that as well. We've got Chelsea European. I can't see the last bit of him. How you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, I'm very good, thank you.
Good. Go on, mate.
I just wanted to know, is Koundé going to happen, or what do you think is going to happen?
I think it's. I think when you've got a player that's pushing to leave, and if you read what Absolute Chelsea's just brought up here as well in regards to Chelsea are going to give one more push, probably in many ways an improved offer in the next few hours to resolve the move for Koundé. I think we can be done. It's just it depends on how stubborn Sevilla want to be in terms of how much they want. And I think if we offer anything between 55 to 65 million euros, I think more on the 60 side of things, I think it will be enough, providing the pressures put in front of Koundé and Chelsea, and they try and
Jem, I was gonna say, right.
Yeah.
I think Chelsea will probably offer between 60 to 65. If they don't accept it, they're just gonna walk away.
I agree. But I think Chelsea are going to do that.
Chelsea won't overpay for a defender. They will not blow their budget for a defender unless it's an elite defender.
Yeah.
There's no way Sevilla can reject that though. Come on, 55. This is like the record trend. I think 45 was long lay or something. So this is a record exiting for them. But I think if we do, we can probably push it to 65 if we really want to, because there is no budget for Chelsea. We haven't spent anything. We spent nothing out of pocket. So I don't think there is a record or not a limit to say. So I think we can press a little bit more if Sevilla really want it. But I don't want to be too nice at Sevilla. I think 15 million is solid.
We don't have time. We don't have time on our hands.
I can't wait to see this player because I don't know that much about him. The only faith I have in him is the number of times I've spoken to Jem about him. So he must be some special dude for all this fuss to be made about him.
He plays on the right side of the three. He plays as the right centre back, so he's easily good and he's quite strong. And I think he's Liga Defender of the Year. I think
Jules Kounde, guys, is mainly brought in because he's very, very good in the ball and his timing, because that's what Zoumá was missing, really. It was a bit clumsy, Zoumá. But I think Jules Kounde, he was very good in the ball. His timing is great. He's only 5'10", 5'11", but he's good with it. He always saw the system. He saw the system very well. But in my opinion, he wasn't priority for Chelsea. I think Chelsea vouched for him because Rodriguez got 1 year in his contract, and Chelsea a bit panicked. But they're going for him. But his attribute is good in the ball. Is great. He fit the system very well.
I hear that. Sam's with us. Sam, what you saying, bro?
Yeah, guys, how y'all doing?
Hi, mate. How you doing?
Yeah. So it's just about the whole transfer and all. I think Koundé is not a need. I don't think he's a player we necessarily need that much. But a midfielder is something that has to happen. Because the mistake they made was loaning out Billy Gilmore that early. Maybe it was a good decision, but for now it's not looking good, because anyone who thinks Loftus-Cheek can play in that position when you want to win the title, they're just killing themselves.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm hearing on Twitter a lot of people are pushing him there. Oh, Loftus-Cheek, he can adapt there. Nah, you don't do that to a player when you actually want to win the title. So hopefully the Saul Níguez deal works out and we can get him in. And because we do need a player like that. I particularly like the fact that he's also a left footer. I think we need that kind of dynamics. He's a good passer of the ball. But yeah, mainly even for Jorginho, because Jorginho was playing too many games. At the end, I would see a two formation where you have Kanté and Jorginho, and then you have Saul and Kovacic. So hopefully it works out.
I think the biggest worry that we this early in the season is the fact that Kante's getting injured quite easily again, isn't it? Don't get me wrong, the tackle was bad on his ankle, and it was unfortunate in terms of the way Mane landed on his ankle. But you lose him, and you're down to two.
And then you have to play Jorginho so much again. And even we saw it last season. Jorginho was burning out. That Arsenal game sometimes, I know he made a mistake, but I felt also he was playing too many games at that point. So, and we're actually lucky to have Billy Gilmore, because he played the Manchester game and played some other games too, to actually just help them rest a little bit. But for now, it's looking bad because Ampadu is also not good enough for this level. He's not.
He's only young. He's a bit young.
Yeah, he's too young. It's not even age. He's not just ready. Because Billy Gilmore, for me, who is actually younger, or maybe the same age. If we had him, I wouldn't care about this.
No, and we've got a comment here from Jonathan saying, "Can we recall Gilmore on loan?" Unfortunately, we cannot. The only time we can recall him is in January.
In January, that's right. Yeah.
So it's unfortunately we kind of shot ourselves in the foot with that. That's why I was very unhappy with the Billy Gilmore thing. I get that he needs progression, experience, and whatever else. But when we like where we are now, and we still haven't got a midfielder, we're sitting with 3 out-and-out midfielders. You know, he would have been at least useful to have in the team to rotate. You know, and I don't know. I think
Tuchel must have expected that Drinkwater, Barkley, or Loftus would have stepped up to help with Bakayoko, but unfortunately, they did not fall through. So that's
I don't think he wanted them at all. But I think right from time he never rated them.
If we're in this situation, why would we learn Gilmore? Because he'll be our Bakayoko and stuff will be our 4th option. I think Tuchel will risk a season for Gilmore's to adapt into and become a better player, and Bakayoko could just sit in our 4th and just play 10 minutes a game or something. I think we could risk that.
I don't think that.
Not now, but that's what they were thinking, that they could possibly step up.
Bakayoko doesn't have a future. There's some players in Chelsea that don't have futures.
Yeah,
Bakayoko is one of them.
But that's what they possibly could have.
How many minutes did Bakayoko get that Tuchel could actually judge him? Because he didn't give him that much minutes. If you look at it,
I'm not saying before. I'm saying from before we loaned him, they could have been thought, yes, we've got 3 other midfielders we could play. Why buy another one? Like, and it's true. We got these other 3, but unfortunately, they possibly didn't see the prospect in them, and unfortunately, they have not performed at all. So that's why we're going for this option.
Yeah, and hopefully we don't get into the same situation with Callum Hudson-Odoi. Start farming him out, and then next minute we're regretting it.
Bring Tyrone Mings.
No, but Hudson-Odoi's position is playing as a wing back, and we have Azpilicueta and Reece James who can play there. So I don't think Hudson-Odoi's position is. If he was playing among the front 3, it's another thing.
Is he playing as a wing back, or was he experimented there during pre-season? They're 2 different things.
He's experimenting. That's why he'll play though. That's why.
No, but he's been playing as a wing back since Tuchel came into this team. So I don't think that's experimenting, because he's played there throughout the whole Tuchel reign. And now, if he gets dropped or if he goes on loan, we have Azpilicueta who can play there. We have Reece James who can play there. Yeah. And we have Chalobah who can play in the right part of the defense. So that part, I'm not really. The midfield is a problem because we don't have 4 midfielders. We have 3 right now.
Yeah,
I think Conor Gallagher actually shouldn't have been loaned out, because I think he could. I would prefer him instead of Loftus.
I think he's not ready.
No. I'm not saying he's ready, but because on Twitter, a lot of people, I don't even want to just bring out names, but a lot of people are pushing this Loftus Cheek agenda that he should play there. I personally would prefer Conor Gallagher.
Can I just say something, guy? What do you think about McGinn for Aston Villa?
Who?
Yeah, but again, there's a lot of players that I think
John McGinn.
Yeah, I think John McGinn is. I think he's good with the ball and his work rate great.
He is. But again, this again falls down to preference again, doesn't it? And like we spoke about Basuma, we could talk about McGinn.
Yeah,
and these are all players that we just haven't been linked with. There's a lot of players that could probably get in this team and suit the way we play because of of the style of football we like to play under Tuchel. So I think look, if we don't get Saul, then I don't understand why we don't go and get Tchouaméni. I still don't get it. They haven't got Champions League football. Why are we not? Why would we not go? Why would we not just go for someone else?
Bro.
That's the thing with Tchouaméni is it's a little bit unfair to get Tchouaméni and when you have Billy Gilmore out on loan. You have all these other players.
But then, I know, but the thing is, Billy Gilmore can still come back next season, even if you get Tchouaméni. People forget that N'Golo Kante is getting older.
No. Let's not do this. People have been saying this replacement of Kante. It's not going to happen.
Gilmore's not going to be ready for that.
It's not replacement. But what I'm trying to get you at is he's not getting any younger. Eventually, Chelsea are going to have to move forward. All right, and at the end of the day, if you can keep N'Golo Kante in our team and he ends up playing less games, which he will do as he gets older, that at least allow him to be around players like Tchouaméni and Gilmore, which will allow them to learn from him. Does that make sense? Rather than
True.
So I think we have to think of the future as much as.
And how old is Tchouaméni? 21.
21.
The thing with Tchouaméni is
So by the time when he hits 23, 24, he'll be more of a regular. And then at that point, Kante will be rotated in and out.
Yeah, but that's like in 2-3 years' time.
Yeah, exactly.
We buy him now. We buy him cheap now. We buy him super cheap.
What about
The thing with Chouameni is, I think if they buy him now and he's not going to play, it's going to disturb his development. So you start having to loan him out the way you're doing Billy Gilmore and the rest. Because let's be real here, if Kante is fit, if everyone is fit in the team, he doesn't play ahead of Kante or Jorginho.
But Kante, unfortunately, is not fit though.
He isn't.
And every single person knows this. He's not going to be fit for every single game.
We're nearly at 200 likes, and there's still 300 people here. Let's try and get that. We're 15 away from 200. Let's make that. And then it's also, look, we're on 1,410 subscribers. We're 90 away from that 2.5k, which is halfway to 3k subscribers for the channel, which is massive. Please help us try and do that on that stream. Let's try and get to 2.5k on that. Collins is here. He hasn't said anything yet, but Collins, what do you want to say, bro?
Yeah, I'm just listening. Yes, I said that everybody's making sense. Everybody's opinions means a lot. So for me, we don't need to panic. One thing I know Chelsea very well. If they say they're going to do something, they will do something. More especially when it's right for the club, because they're going to complete this 2 deal. I am very, very confident that Chelsea is going to complete it. More especially if you watch the injury of Kante have increased their attention to get another midfield. So I think Saúl and Koundé, both of them are going to become a Chelsea player coming Wednesday. So I'm not scared of, I'm not panicking. So you guys should know how to trust your board, because what our board did last season, our board to show everybody that they can get anything they wish to get. So I think they're going to, because selling Zoumá already, if you watch, all of us were thinking they are selling Zoumá for £25 million. We end up hearing that it's £29 million. So there's nothing the board cannot do. So they will get the deal. It's just that normal thing. Maybe Sevilla are trying to do the whole thing just to delay so that they can get their own signing in before they can maybe do the whole thing. I know that the guy already moved. So it's a Chelsea player. It's just a matter of time. Everybody should relax. Nobody should be a panic. I know that by coming Wednesday, we have 2 players. So that one, I'm not doubting about the board, what they can do and what they cannot do. So I'm considering about the game last weekend. Kind of angry because I was supposed to have 3 points from that game, if not that penalty and red card. We should have won that game. But anyway, if somebody tell me that I should go to Anfield and pick up the draw, I will gladly take that. You understand? So it's not a bad result. So for me, the whole weekend was fun for me. Just that Wolves really spoiled my weekend because I wanted Manchester United to draw. So that's the whole thing.
We got we got Zomo saying, please, Chelsea FC should get Adama Traore from Wolves. I really love the guy. The way he moves the ball, getting someone like him in our team will make us more stronger to win the league and be champions. There's talks about Callum Hudson-Odoi agreeing personal terms with Dortmund and going out on the loan move today, which Chelsea are denying until they actually sign someone. Is Adama Traore an option? I don't think Hudson-Odoi's going, but is he an option if Hudson-Odoi does leave the football club for Chelsea?
No, but then
no way. This guy can't finish.
If Adama had end product, I feel like he would be a fantastic player. But he doesn't have end product in him. He's got everything else but end product. He's basically like all the Hudson-Odoi, man. That's all he is at the moment.
Well, there was the tweet earlier that I put up, and it was update Hudson-Odoi. He has agreed personal terms with Dortmund. Everything is set to between him and BVB, but Chelsea is refusing to let him leave alone for the moment. Situation could only change if they get a replacement in. All eyes on Saul. So why is it all eyes on Saul? Is that because he will be used as a right? This is what I'm confused about. I thought he was going to be used as a central midfielder. Callum Hudson-Odoi plays as a right wing back. What's Saul going to do to influence?
This is Sky Sports. They could be talking about anything here. This is
they're not the most smart people sometimes.
They're just like.
I don't think and they have a bit of an agenda with Chelsea anyway.
Yeah.
You know the thing though, we need to be careful that we do not do what they did on that contest season, where they just buy players for the need of bodies. Oh, we need bodies in. So because if you look at what has been happening like after the transfer ban, Chelsea have been getting their number 1 targets. And with that, we're actually able to win the Champions League and other trophies. So I do feel that if they don't get the targets they want, like Saul and maybe Chouameni if he's part of it, or Koundé, I would prefer them not to get in instead of just bringing players that after a season or two you want to sell them and you can't even get the money back for them.
I think I don't like sort of putting stuff on Marina, as I've said repeatedly so far, but this is one time I will put it on her. And I don't think after what has happened in the past, Marina's going to let that happen again. I think she's been burnt so badly by that she's learned. And I don't see her getting in too many deadwood buys, I'll call them. I think she's consulting with the football people around her before agreeing or disagreeing to players. So those days are gone now. We're not going to do that.
I hear that.
Just one question about Tchouaméni, though. Do you guys think you have Tchouaméni in the midfield and you can win the league? Because the guy is still very young.
Well, yeah, but fine. But look, if he comes to Chelsea, it becomes rotation. We still have Jorginho, Kante, and Kovacic. So yeah, we can still win the league with Tchouaméni there. Tchouaméni's not being brought in to he'll elevate. He'll give us options and he'll help us rotate. But he's not being brought in to help us challenge for the league. I don't think so. Anyway, I think he's more of a future player for Chelsea. You know,
he's a long-term player.
Yeah, exactly. But we have got Redneck Blue here, mate. How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. I was just listening to what y'all guys saying, and
yeah, go on.
I don't think Chelsea is gonna buy anybody by the end of the window.
Why?
First of all, it's too close to the closing. Second of all, I think we have a squad that actually play in a couple of positions. Like Mount can take the midfield position, and there will free space up front for the other players. That's one thing. Then there was the other midfielder, the youngster that played CB. I forgot his name. Chalobah can play in midfield. It's not going to be any buys in the last second. Maybe the defender, and it's it. But the midfield, I don't think so. Even if we get to Tchouaméni, I think we should loan him back to Monaco. That he will actually make better player in a year.
Okay. No.
I thought Jules Koundé can play in number 6 as well. He is good with the ball. That's why he's been brought in, because it's like Declan Rice. You don't buy him for his sake, buying him because he's good. His full package. He can play everywhere. That's why. Chelsea looking to want to play right back, left back, in the middle, 6, 8. Declan Rice can do that. Jules Koundé can do that. That's why they're going for him. Because too many, I think I watched him a few times with Monaco. He's a different gravy. He's a very, very good player. With Kante fit or Jorginho or Kovacic, he's becoming good. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
If you're saying that Jules Koundé can also play as a CDM, then money should not be an object. That's where I would agree with spending some money on the guy. If he's more than just a centre back or a right back or wing back, if he's also a multi-purpose player, just like Declan Rice, although Declan Rice is more CDM and centre back, I think then we need to really consider just dropping some money and getting these people off our backs to a point. You know, between 60, 65 million, okay. Anything more than that, and they're taking the absolute piss, and we should just walk.
I mean, Koundé can play CDM, but it's not like he can walk in as a CDM. He can be like a Chalobah.
Have you seen him play CDM?
I personally have not seen him. I watched him in centre back. I watched him all last season. Every time by Barca, Madrid, I watched him Getafe game, and he does well as a centre back. But when I see him in CDF, I've seen stats that are highlights, but I don't see him coming in and walking in as our CDM.
No, sorry. The question was, have you ever seen him play CDM? Because I have
not on an actual game. I've not seen him as a CDM.
Okay.
I've seen the stats of him seen him, and he's only played, I think, 2 or 3 games, and they're like Koundé.
Yeah, Koundé can.
He can, but I don't think he walks.
Yeah, he can play there, and the reason he can play there is because his actual stats in terms of progression with the ball and moving forward is better than an average midfielder's. So not only can he progress with the ball, he can play the ball out. He can take a player on. He is a bit of a risk player, you know, like when we had David Luiz and he used to get the ball at the back and he used to try and do something, and we used to be like, oh god, but he does it better than David Luiz. He can get round the player and he always, the thing I like about Koundé, the biggest thing I like about Koundé is he always looks forward. He doesn't want to do this. He wants to get the ball, look up, right, who's making runs, play it. You know, he's always thinking about trying to be progressive, and that's important. You know.
Yeah, can I just say something as well, guys? Because obviously, I don't know. I'm not gonna. I played it when I was younger. I played in academy, and from where I came from originally, so I know most of the players go to the ball, go in the back.
Yeah.
They originally, when they grow up in academy, they used to be a center midfielder, and after that, they've been with the system. They transferred to center back. All right. So the like of Aka, he used to play center. He used to play 6 under Benitez. If you remember that, guys. Declan Rice, he can play centre back, and Jules Koundé. I'm pretty sure, without doubt, he can play number 6.
Of course he can,
because he's
We've
good
seen
with the
Christensen do it. We've seen Christensen do it a little bit, you know. So like, and he's in many ways he can distribute, if anything, better. I think better than Christensen, and he's good at it, you know. So it's you know it's definitely saying it can. But Declared's with us. Declared, what you saying, my man? You all right?
How's it going, fellas?
Yeah, all right, mate. All right.
Declared. Good to see you, mate.
Declared is back in town. What are you saying, Declared? There's lots of talks about Koundé, still not a Chelsea player yet. Saúl Níguez, Cho potentially going to Dortmund as well. There's been some Chelsea fans having meltdowns on social media about Marina again as well, which we're going to talk about Marina as the next topic, actually. So what's your thoughts on it, mate?
Right, that's how I jumped on late, but I had to jump in because these Chelsea fans, you guys are real downers, man. I don't know how, like, the transfer window is still open. The Koundé deal has been worked on for ages. It's just Seville pulling a fast one. I think it was a chain reaction because they were trying to get someone in, and the delay ended up them costing their deal maybe, and they're just trying to get some extra compensation. Koundé as the player, he's not even in the team, Seville squad. He's in France, but that guy is mine. He's already transferred. He's left the team. So that's the advantage that Chelsea have. This deal is going to get done. No one's ever talking about that. Everyone's talking like it's off. There's still 2 days in the window, and I'm pretty sure that deal's going to get done.
Because he didn't play last game. He didn't play the last game.
He's not even in the squad. He's not even in the same country. He's in France.
Yeah.
He doesn't like Sevilla. He doesn't like the
player itself. Yeah, sorry, man. The player itself, he's left. His mind is not in Seville. He said his goodbyes, everything. He's in the other country. He's waiting. So Chelsea might have to compensate, find the sweet spot for the delay because of what Zoumá took too long to get done. But once that gets done, I'm pretty sure he's a Chelsea player, and no one's ever actually looking at that side of it in this conversation. And what was the other thing, Jem, you said?
Oh, there's a couple, isn't there? You got Saúl Níguez, you got Cho, you got Marina, and
Saúl Níguez. I've been a big advocate for this guy. I'm a massive fan. I'll tell you now, I'm going to make a big statement, Jem, right on your show, right? That if Saúl Níguez gets to his peak, if Tuchel gets the best out of him, he's going to displace Koundé in our team. That's how. Really? That's how good he's going to play, right? In the system we have. Koundé is such a world-class player.
Why can't he play with Koundé? Why would he disreplace?
He can, but I think with the system we played, Jorginho and him together, right, brings such a possession element and throw Koundé in there. No one is going to be able to get the ball off us in the back. No one. We're going to have such a possession. We're going to look like the Barcelona dynasty when no one can touch him. We're going to look. It's just going to be that 5 in the back is going to be untouchable, and I think that's more important than having a Koundé there at his defensive. And Saúl Níguez was Simeone's engine. Bro, that guy, he not only can defend, he can dribble, pass, and he's got long-range shots, man. And he was Atletico's biggest player. That's why they signed him on a 9-year contract. But now, they're so stacked in his position that Simeone keeps putting him in different spots. I watched him last night. He played left winger in that River VL game when he subbed on. They put him as a left winger. And I think this is one of the key issues in his performances and why he hasn't been as good. Because they played Lamar and Carrasco, who they brought back from China, who they sold for big money, but I think he got homesick, whatever, and they brought him back. So Simeone's got a problem, and he's out of form, and they put him on a 9-year contract on massive money. That's Atletico's problem. That's why they want to get rid of him. So that's the problem they have. So I think that he's such a good player that if Tuchel gets the best out of him, that I don't want to see Koundé out of the team, but that's what I'm saying, how good he can be, how good Saul can be.
Yeah.
I just want to add something to that. 2 seasons ago, And I think Man United went to Atletico Madrid and asked for so many guys, and Atletico Madrid wanted 90 million. That's how good he was 2 seasons ago.
I think
and he was
he might have
Atletico
a massive number in his release clause like that already.
Yeah. And he takes the penalties as well. He's good with the ball. I think he's a very. But the issue is, last 2 seasons we don't know behind the scene. We don't know what's happening because Atletico tried to push him out. We don't know what the reason was. I don't know if because
it's the La Liga. It's the La Liga salary cap. So I think La Liga it's all salary cap, and that's why they're getting rid of all the high wage players. And anyway, Jem, I'm gonna go. So and let's.
Take care.
I'm gonna let someone.
See you later, mate.
He's one of the biggest earners, and he's been on the bench. So obviously, and he's a 9-year contract. He's not even coming to an end.
But I think you should go with some Kante. You should go with some Kante highlights again.
So much.
Because I don't think that would be easy for him at all.
What is it? Someone's
just moving their mic like crazy, and I don't know. I hate when I hear that the distorted echo thing. It's pissing me off sometimes. So just mute your mic.
We have Donny James with us, who's not a Chelsea fan. He is a Doncaster Rovers fan. What are you doing here, Donny? What are you saying?
Afternoon, lads. Yeah, I just wanted to be on the stream because I think Chelsea's got a couple of deals still to hopefully go. It's going to be a crazy deadline day. We've got a couple of deals to go. Potentially, Will Griggs on fire at the end of the day. So we'll see what happens. But I think with both of us having a crazy deadline day, it makes sense to share in the excitement. But no, I've been keeping a close eye on what Chelsea's been doing, and obviously the reports yesterday that the Saul deal's off, the last attempt on Koundé. It's going to be interesting, and I think that Koundé would be a great addition to the back three. But as Chelsea proved, you bring in Koundé, you've already got a decent back line anyway. So this is just adding on the quality without selling really. So this just pushes Chelsea's title hopes even more, to be honest.
I hear that. Donny, what's your thoughts on Chelsea fans and them being unhappy with the way Marina's doing business this season? I mean, they're moaning about the Koundé thing and they're not happy about the Saúl Níguez thing, the fact that it's taken so long and that we're leaving it. It looks like we might potentially not even sign him because we're leaving it last minute. What are your thoughts on that as well? Do you think we're spoiled in many ways?
For me, I'm not moaning about that because if you watch it very well, if you look at the way, because we have so many deadwood in Chelsea, all these French players in Chelsea. So and it's taking time to move them away. So you need to move them away because you can bring in people. If you watch Bakayoko deal is that I don't think Bakayoko is returning back to Chelsea because it's not to move them away. So
we've got feedback. I don't know if it was I can hear someone's feedback.
It's not mine. It's not mine.
I got feedback. I don't know if it's someone.
I can't see the guys. Yeah, that guy 007.
Yeah, I've muted him now. Yeah.
It's not mine. It's not mine.
Yeah, it's Keed. You're
that guy 007.
Yeah, 1 second, guys. 1 second, please. Keed, mate. We can hear feedback when you talk. So every time you talk, we can hear ourselves. So you have to come out and come back in, unless you've got earphones, because we can't. Yeah, we can't talk when you're when we're talking and we can hear ourselves talking, basically, if that makes sense. So yeah, if you can come back in, do us a favour. Yeah, sorry, who was talking?
Yeah, hi guys.
Football style. Come on, football style. What's your thoughts on it, mate? I know you've been very not sure with Chelsea and Marina and stuff. So tell us, come on.
Yeah. First of all, hello guys. How are you? Are you good?
All good, mate. All good.
When I see this news from yesterday, there was no news. I was shocked actually. Like yesterday, there's no any news or any touches. So it affects like, and my personal thing like. No news. So I was shocked actually. Like yesterday, there's no any news. There's echo, guys.
Yeah, it's that same.
Yeah,
hello, can you hear me? Okay. Yep. So I think it will affect the transfer window because now we have 2 days left. Now today and tomorrow, and I'm a bit worried, to be honest. Like we have the money, like we have everything. Why are we just delaying, like Arsenal or like we just delaying? Like
Maria
should do the job like very fast. Like like Lukaku. Like, why do they just delaying this? I'm so confused now. For weeks and weeks and weeks, there is no like done deal and Jules Koundé deal, and we have just today and tomorrow. It should be today, like for sure, because maybe Sevilla president tomorrow would say no, like if the bid is not right. So it should be like today the bid to make. But I don't think Saul will come as Ambado stays from what I see in the absolute Chelsea. I think he will stay in Chelsea and be a midfielder.
Who's that?
Ambado.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I do understand why some Chelsea fans are a bit panicky, because we've been linked with these players for a little while and we still haven't got them over the line. But these are one of the things where there's a lot that needs to be done, put in place, you know, and it doesn't happen. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen overnight. And the Sevilla thing for me is Sevilla, not Chelsea. I think we've probably verbally had an agreement with them and said this is how much we got. We've probably laid it and it's changed their minds last minute. Maybe because Koundé, the way Koundé's moved, maybe the fact that he's just left them and gone Paris and they've just gone, oh, fuck this. Like, why is he doing that? Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe they've gone, if he wants to leave, let's try and make a bit more money out of the guy. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, we don't know, you know, but all I do know is that in either today, I think today is a good, I think we'll get a good understanding on Koundé. Later today, I reckon we'll get a good understanding of what's happening with Koundé and Chelsea. And I do think he wants to be a Chelsea player. So,
I agree,
you know, we out of Saúl Níguez and Koundé, I do think the Koundé deal's looks like it's got more chance of being done.
More than Saul, I think.
But the Saul thing for me is just the wages. He's on 300. We know he's on 300k euros a week, which is about 257 sterling. That's a lot of money for Chelsea to pay. You've got to bear in mind, N'Golo Kante, who is our second or third highest paid player, is on 280k. So, you know, to pay someone that's coming on loan for a season 257k a week is a lot of money, you know, especially for a loan move. So maybe we're trying to negotiate the wages more than anything else with him, and that might be why we don't get him, you know, because that is a lot.
I don't think pay the whole money. Maybe they'll pay half of the money, you know.
Sorry, boys.
Maybe 50%.
Just something that, like, I think that I've heard over and over. People keep asking, why isn't it getting done? Like the impatience. But you got to understand that sometimes when you're in the position of power, waiting, the closer we get to the window, the better the deal works out for Chelsea. Like the Koundé deal was up for grab. Like if someone really wanted Koundé, if someone really wanted Koundé, we had to pay the 80 mil. If anyone needed a defender,
they said you should pay 65 million. 65.
No, but his release clause is 80. His release clause is 80, and he was up for sale. If any other team really needed a defender and really wanted him, they had to pay 80. The fact that Seville need money, right? And the closer it got to the window, it's why they compromise for that money, right? And they're now this quick turn is just to get extra money. But this, even with Saul, Atletico are the desperate ones, right? And the closer it gets to the window, to the end, is they have to take the bigger cost on the wages. And that's how it works. That's why you got to understand that the teams know who needs what players desperately. Chelsea do not need players, especially with Chalobah in now. We don't even need Koundé.
No,
it's not like we light on defenders.
No, we need.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah,
we don't need Koundé. We have James, we have Aspi, we have so many players that can play in the CB.
We still need. He's a prospect for the future. We still need both of them.
No, but if we don't get Koundé, are we in trouble this season?
No, exactly. Yeah, I agree.
So he's just nice. You know, nice. He's going to be nice.
It's a long term. Yeah, the long term.
He's going to improve the team.
If you don't get him this year, somebody else will get him next year.
Yeah,
and I feel like
that's what he's trying to make.
Yeah, not now.
Because he's got the potential to be a world class player. If you don't get him this year, he's been linked a few times to Real Madrid. That's what Chelsea looking at. And as I said to you, Chelsea started looking now to the player full package, play in a different position, and he fit that profile. That's why Chelsea going for him. Regardless of money wise, he had an agreement regarding Zoumá involved in the deal, but obviously he decided to stay in London. That's why Sevilla now wanted more money, and Chelsea not willing to pay the 80 million. He's 45.
Which is a good thing.
No one is. Why didn't Real Madrid pay the 80?
They kind
of.
No,
that's why I'm trying to say. My point was, if it doesn't come this year, it will go elsewhere next year.
We could pay 65 million with 5 million add-ons. Then they will accept it.
Yeah, but that's why it's taking a while. It's because we're trying to down the price. Like when we're not a club, we just pay 80 mil. We negotiate and we'll drop it.
We had an agreement.
But
don't listen
we
to
had an
Fabrizio.
agreement, yeah.
Don't listen to. There's other sources. I mean, what are you going to say about Fabrizio? Sorry, go on. What are you going to say then?
Matti didn't say nothing. Fabrizio,
About?
like I was shocked that he didn't do any, because every time he sent like in 5 a.m. something tweet about Koundé or something like that for update. He didn't do yesterday.
A lot of the news they say is old news. Some of the news might be 6-7 hours old. We don't know. But again, they're not going to report of every single little second move they do. Like, they don't report big news. What's that? If they're going to say Chelsea said this exact words, like, they're not going to report on every single word. It's whatever's big, whatever gets the clicks is what they report on. So nothing happens on Koundé. They're just going to keep changing until rock bottom. You know, obviously Sevilla want more money. They're gonna milk Chelsea as much as they can, and that's why they'll put that up. But at the end of the day, it's a done deal.
Yeah. So Pies has come out, CFC Pies, and he said, "I've seen the news on Koundé and Saul, especially Koundé. Sevilla raising the price by 15 million euros is literally nothing. We just sold Zoumá for 29.8 million sterling. Use that cash injection towards the deal. I'm not most concerned about the midfield. We are screwed with Atletico. Don't accept on option." So again, like what I said earlier, not long ago, I said I think the Koundé deal. The fact that we sold Zoumá, the fact that we actually did sell Zoumá and he went to West Ham tells me we should be getting Koundé. Like, there's no way in hell we let Zoumá go and we don't bring someone in. That's my opinion on it. So I think I do think we will get Koundé. I'll be shocked if we don't get Koundé, and you'll see me do a stream on it. I would actually be shocked if we didn't get him after all that. But it'd have to be a really good reason why. It'd have to be a really good reason why. And the only reason we don't get Koundé is that they say we want 80 million, you know, we want the 80 million euros, and Chelsea just say no. You know, that is the only way this doesn't happen for me. They want the full value. So
can I just say, afternoon, guys?
Sorry, you go on.
Hi, good afternoon. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Can I just say about the Saul Níguez move and the comparison, not the comparison, but choosing him over Tchouameni and considering guys like Billy Gilmore, the panel probably noticed that we also have Conor Gallagher that pretty much had 2 decent games for Crystal Palace.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
No. Yeah, thanks, man. Like, he scored 2 goals over the weekend. You can't say no. He scored 2 goals over the weekend for Crystal Palace. I'm not saying he's the same type of players that what they are, but what I'm saying is, should we get somebody like Tchouameni that on a permanent deal instead of getting someone like Saul on a loan deal and not necessarily having to sign him next season on a more permanent deal? That does allow us that should any of our loan players like the Billy Gilmore and the Conor Gallagher, should they have good seasons, it's going to be easier for them to look at their future and see we might be able to make it at Chelsea. But if we do get somebody more permanent, that totally restricts any of our loan players from actually looking to Chelsea and thinking they actually might get into the first team.
But that makes no sense what you're saying, because Saul was a lone player. If you would want Billy Gilmore and Gallagher to start, you would want Saul, because we're not going to buy Saul after it. At this moment, Saul's a one-season loan.
That's definitely what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you're saying exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
But you're saying you don't want Saul.
No, I'm saying I prefer Saul over anyone over somebody permanent. I'm saying I prefer Saul over someone that's permanent. I know the wages is going to be high, but at least it's a loan for 1 year, and we know that should he not perform, we can let him go. But
the deal is great. The deal is great. You can get him for a year if he can show the Premier League and assist him. It's okay. We can sign him permanently. If he's not, you can send him back. The deal is good.
Yeah, that is true. You know, that's the why Chelsea are trying to get the no obligation to buy it, because if you get the no obligation to buy it means we don't have to sign him at the end of it. It's a bit like the Kovacic deal, right? You know, when we got Kovacic, he came to Chelsea,
from Real Madrid,
and then we decided to pay. I thought we got him pretty cheap, to be honest. You know,
absolutely, 40 million is steal.
Exactly. So, you know, what Chelsea are doing is very, very good in terms of negotiating, and this is why I get frustrated with people when they start digging at Marina a little bit. I know she's not done the bit like every negotiator at their football club has done a dodgy deal. I don't care what anyone says. I've brought someone in that's not worked at the end of the day. That happens in football. But the one thing that she's doing well at the moment is making sure that we don't get bent over. Do you know what I mean? And just say stupid things. And look at the Kepa thing, for example. That really fucked up, didn't it? Let's be serious. We brought in a goalie that cost us 75 million, and now unfortunately we can't get him off the books. No one wants to pay his wages. His value, we're going to lose money on him in terms of his value and what he's worth now, unless we get him back into some sort of form. And I think that's a lesson learned from us, and I think that's why you see us step in a lot more carefully when we're doing negotiations. And I have no problem with that. I do have no problem with that. And this is the thing with the Koundé thing, right? They want Sevilla turn around and say, we want 80 million euros. We want the full the full amount for him. And we turn around and walk away from it. I kind of understand it to a degree, because we don't believe that he's worth 80 million. Fine, that's cool. If Chelsea think that's not the money they want to spend on him, then we've just got to understand that. But I do think we'll get Koundé because of Koundé. Does that make sense? We'll get Koundé because of Koundé. Koundé putting the pressure on.
That does make sense.
Putting the pressure on is but with the Saúl Níguez thing, again, you've got to look at our wage structure. Can we afford 257k a week in wages if that's what he officially? You might not want that. We don't know yet. We're waiting for confirmation. But if it is that,
here's the similarities. Here's the similarities between Kepa. Here's the similarities between Kepa deal and Koundé deal. They all overvalued, and the problem with Kepa deal, what we did it before versus Koundé, Real Madrid was after Kepa really, really strong before Thibaut Courtois. That's why we got him for that much money, because we are afraid of Real Madrid.
No, I think it was a desperation.
That was the case. No. We missed out on Ellison,
both of them.
and we needed a keeper, and they wouldn't give him up until we paid his release clause.
I think Chelsea were desperate because Courtois just did his dirty, and he was wanting to go out, and we needed that first goalkeeper, and Chelsea just went to that paid the 71 million.
Chelsea never had the goalkeeper Courtois, only a snake.
Jam.
Yeah.
Can I just quickly step in a minute, because I've been chatting to my inside sources for hours, and I've just got some breaking news through.
What about Doncaster?
Yep.
Oh.
Are you from Doncaster, mate?
Doncaster Rovers, mate. So basically, just to give you a bit of context, so you know what's happening in summary. We've been rumoured to be after the famous Will Grigg, Your Defence is Terrified. And basically the only thing stopping it was the fact that Omar Bogle didn't want to go unless he got a massive payout by Rovers, unless he got paid a lot of money to leave. Now what I've been told is the board have given us the money, regardless of Bogle. He was originally on 10,000 a week at Sunderland. We're paying 25% of that wage. Sunderland are paying the rest of it. Will Grigg will be a Donny player, signed, sealed, delivered because of the board. Come on!
Can I just say, I went to Doncaster University 3 years. I had a good time there.
You are?
I lived in Doncaster for 3 years. I went to university there.
Oh, wow.
Is this for real?
This is for real. Will Grigg will be a Doncaster Rovers player today, or on deadline day tomorrow. He will be a Donny player.
Right.
Fair enough. And on other news, before I move on as well, talking about Kylian Mbappe to Real Madrid. Now negotiations are underway regarding Mbappe. If nothing unexpected happens, the Madrid player with an offer of more than 180 million. So basically, to be a Madrid player, they have to offer more than 180 million euros to get Kylian Mbappe, which is something that Madrid are looking to do, and it's underway with him. So it could be a Real Madrid player very, very
There's
soon.
an interesting twist to this, Gem, which I'm hearing, and it involves Haaland. Now, I'm really happy that we've stepped out of that Haaland deal, because Mino Raiola, I just think he's a disgusting human being, to be honest. You know, there's money and there's just plain greed. But it looks like PSG might let Mbappe go to Madrid if they have the time to then swing roundabout and go for Haaland. I don't know how true that is. I don't have many sources, but I'm seeing that flying around, and it looks possible, if you ask me, based on what PSG have been doing so far. Oh, you've seen it as well.
Yeah, I've
good.
seen
So
it,
I'm
yeah.
not just streaming.
No.
From what I heard, Mbappe, I think, is going to Madrid, and I think Haaland is going to PSG to replace him.
No, PSG, no. I don't think he will get him.
I think he will go there, mate.
Maybe, I don't know. But people
say he's going to Bayern Munich, blah, 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 X, Y, and Z. I think he's going to be the replacement for Mbappe. Yeah. That's my personal opinion.
You know, I watched PSG last night, and I was laughing within myself. You know, these Chelsea fans talking about game time. You want to look at their bench, mate, and then tell me about game time.
Yeah.
You know,
but I watched
they're
the game.
Globetrotters.
I watched the game. Their defender is so poor. I didn't expect how many balls against them goes on.
Yeah.
I think we can win if we get in the Champions League against them for sure, because Tuchel knows the plans against the players.
Well, what I would say is the difference between Chelsea and PSG, because they've bought all the best players in the world, it doesn't mean that they're going to work, right? You need a manager, and managers are so important, and we know that ourselves because we look at Lampard and look at Tuchel and how much we've been elevated. So I still think there's question marks over Poch. I think he's a good manager, but can he manage that amount of top players in one team and get the best out of them in a system that works? You know, systems are important. So
this is the manager now.
We'll have to see. But before we finish off, I've got one more question for you guys, and then we're going to finish it off. Nearly 2 hours. Been a great show. Guys, smash the like button. Continue subscribing to the channel. On the road to 2.5k subscribers. Still 200 people here as well. So, look, Marina in or Marina out? I'm going to start with Krasim, and we're going to go round, yeah? Marina in or Marina out?
Mate, come on.
What kind of question is that?
Think of another question, mate. If anyone's
no.
Hell out of here.
If anybody's, man.
Marina, get out.
Okay, let me rephrase it for you guys. If we don't sign Jules Koundé and we don't get Saul Níguez, and we've only just signed Lukaku, would you be happy with our transfer market or unhappy with what we've done?
Yes. Both hands up, yes.
Yeah, I think, Jamie, the transfer, what we've done this summer, I think is great. But because after the Liverpool game was 2-man down yesterday, it's a bit concerned. Chelsea has got to come out and get one, 100%. Regards Marina, come on, man. She's doing an outstanding job. She just said to Chelsea and the Chelsea rival, we're not going to get screwed. If you want to do a deal, I'm going to do it my way, nobody else's way. And she's great. I'm definitely Marina's in. And
the reason I asked it is just because of how reactionary people on social media are at the moment. You know, so
Jeremy, Chelsea fan is spoiled, mate. Chelsea fan is spoiled. That's why.
Yeah.
So, 100%. She's
all
doing
the sales she's
job,
done.
People have 15-second brain spells.
Let's go round. Let's go to Bobby next. Bobby, what are you saying?
Right, get her out. Get Marina out. No, seriously. On a serious note, you know, I don't think she's the issue, and as I've said repeatedly, I'm not really on, about her. But in terms of the business in all, it's a funny one because yes, we've done well in getting our transfer target. I was never a Lukaku in sort of person, but he's here. Good. At least it was someone that Tuchel likes, and I'm glad we had the bottle to walk away from that toxic Haaland deal. But yeah, that guy is just awful, But the thing that will leave us as a Chelsea fan base slightly dissatisfied is, look, you've sort of hung a carrot in front of us. We know we need an extra midfielder. And there's all this will he, won't he with Saúl Níguez. And from what I hear, he's a staggering player. There's been a lot of hype around Jules Koundé. I don't know him as a player, but, I love your mate, Jem. So if you say he's good, okay, it's all good. So if we're linked to these players and we have this fantastic way of negotiating, it's a bit disappointing if it doesn't happen, if it doesn't get to happen. Is it the end of the world? I don't think so. I think we will manage, but it will sort of take away the certainty of what we want, which is the Premier League. So it's an okay transfer market.
Yeah, I hear you. Football star.
In my opinion, I would say to her, Marina, okay. That's the word, okay. I don't say good or bad, in the middle. If she didn't get Koundé. That's my.
If we don't get Koundé and we don't get Saúl Níguez, what is your thoughts on our transfer window and Marina?
For me,
yeah,
a bit sad because I was waiting for Koundé.
I was waiting for it. I knew there was people that were thinking like this. This is why I asked that question. A lot of people in the chat are saying, "Why would you ask that question?" This is why I'm asking that question, because there are so many people that are still not as on the same wavelength as maybe 60-70% of the Chelsea fan base at the moment. You know, and this is why I'm trying to find out why, where this. There was one.
Jamie, can I just say something, Jamie? Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
I think if you watch in the Premier League last year, the gap between Chelsea and Man City in particular, I'm not talking about Man United, because I'm not worried about Man United as the manager. The gap between Chelsea and Man City was big. So what did they? Chelsea gone out and got Lukaku, number 9, Haaland, Lukaku, whatever. I said, this is the issue. But now, if we're going for this for the league, and we've got 2 men gone down yesterday, Chelsea have to react, because otherwise we're defeating the object. Because last year we didn't have anyone to put the ball behind the net. We got that guy, and now we're struggling in the midfield. So Chelsea will look at that, Marina and the board, because I'll tell you what, we need someone there, because otherwise we're just going around the circle. I'm very confident before tomorrow night, which is transfer close tomorrow night, Chelsea will address the issue.
It should be today. It should be today.
Should be today.
I think it's tomorrow night, mate. It's Tuesday.
No, it should be today.
No, what the transfer window ends tomorrow 11 p.m.
Yeah, tomorrow, mate. Tomorrow 11 o'clock.
Like, do something about it.
No, you go till tomorrow as well before 11 o'clock. So what I'm trying to say is, I'm very confident, and I'm gonna remind you this, Cousin. I called it, Jamie. Remember that? Chelsea will address the issue tomorrow before 11 o'clock. I'm gonna go now, Jamie, and I thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
No worries, mate. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate your support, mate. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
You heard it. You heard it there. We're gonna go to Claire. Declared. What are you saying?
I still think it's crazy people are Marina out. She's got like a decade's worth of good deals, and people are just so reactionary. And the window hasn't even ended to make that judgment too. It's like what you guys just said. 2 days are open. But end of the day, really, you're talking about depth. All we needed, we knew a striker position was to get addressed, right? We knew that. That was a must. If we didn't get a striker, I'd say people can be upset. People can beat Marina out if we didn't get a striker. But all you're talking about is depth now. We had 2 players go down and we got worried. But we can actually go through the whole season maybe without it. We have a loan army to also fill in. You're talking about backup players at this point. And I think we're in such a position that we are going to get good depth. And I think those deals are still going to get through. But to bring Marina out after, I mean, even selling a whole bunch of deadwood as well, and still people like that. Yeah, it's crazy to me. And I still think the deals will get done, bro.
Yeah, I feel like I'll tell you mine at the end. But KD Sports SA, what you saying, mate?
Marina in 100%. I think that she's been doing really good. She had a season where she disappointed, but other than that, I can say that I'm 100% standing at the back of Marina. I feel like whether we do get Koundé, whether we do add an extra midfielder, I'm quite confident in Thomas Tuchel, and I think that he's shown that we as Chelsea fans, we can stand, we can support him with whatever his decision making is. So I feel like he probably come up with a solution if there is an area that we lack in. But other than that, the Romelu Lukaku deal, I'm happy. If we don't get anyone else, I'm happy. And Marina, 100%, I'm behind her. And yes.
I hear you. I do hear you. Donny, I mean, you know you're not a Chelsea fan, but is there any last words you want to say?
Well, first of all, I can't stop smiling. And secondly, I think if Koundé doesn't happen, I think that Chelsea is still in a wonderful window, because the thing I look at transfers is, I know this from experience, quality is better than quantity. And I think bringing in Romelu Lukaku, the main position that Chelsea needed, I think that's a better deal. And I think that you've already got a decent defence. If Koundé happens next season, then there was no point for Chelsea fans ranting and raving if you don't get him in this window. So I think that just getting Lukaku in this window is great already. But if you bring in Koundé before the 11 p.m. deadline tomorrow, then it'll just be that little extra bonus, that bonus addition to the squad, especially if you get him lower than 75 million, that's even better. You know, that's why I'm not angry about Saul not going to Chelsea, because I know that wherever he ends up, it's going to be a good deal. But I know that Chelsea have already had a wonderful window anyway. So it's a good deal regardless. Marina should stay in for me. And yeah, Will Grigg, man. I'm buzzing. I'm fucking buzzing, bro.
Guys,
yeah, I can see it, mate. I can see it. Hassan, last final words, mate. What you got to say?
Hey, all I'm going to say, right, is that Marina's job is to keep the structure in place. She's not there to break it. What she's done for me, right, I've said it before, right, and I've said it many times on Twitter when I was asking you, yeah, she's got rid of a lot of deadwood. And she's cleared off the boxes as well as strengthening our squad. And to be honest, there's not many other people in her position that can get rid of deadwood. Like, look at United, they've still got, like, what, 8-9 midfielders in terms of on 100k a week. And let's be real, man, that if we don't get him, we don't get him. It is what it is. Chelsea will not slap 80 billion on a defender unless it's an elite defender. I feel like Chelsea will offer, I think the final offer will be between 60 to 65 and they'll walk away if they see him home. And yeah, and there's not really much to say. It's just,
you just have to wait. I think we just want answers now, innit, Hassan? That's the thing. We just want to know now.
Jules Koundé is very eager. He wants to come to the club.
Of course
like,
he does.
Wants to
but
why?
If at the end of the day, he's contracted to Sevilla.
Yeah,
he's a Sevilla player. Like, it doesn't matter. Look at Harry Kane. He wants to go, but he's contracted the club. He has to play for him.
But it's
whether he likes it or not.
Different story.
No, but I'm saying that Sevilla, if he wants to come to us, then that's him in it. But whatever the issue is, if he doesn't
Maria should deal this thing. If he's very eager, want to come to the club, he wants champions.
And that's why we're offering 60 to 65. That's what I think we'll offer. If he goes any higher than that, we walk away. It's too much.
Look,
I agree.
I think I am more confident in the Jules Koundé deal than the Saul deal. We could still get both. We could still not get any. We could still get one and not the other. You know, like I think we will find out a lot more. I think by the end of today, or maybe latest tomorrow morning on both. I don't think it will be like a lastminute.com on both. I think you'll have some sort of guidance on what's going on and what's happening. I do see Koundé happening. I really do, and the fact that Chelsea are looking to put in another formal bid that they think maybe Sevilla will accept with a bit of pressure from Koundé. Obviously, him being in Paris, I've said it before. I think he's in Paris because he'll probably have a medical there anyway. So once that's formal and it's agreed, he'll probably go from there.
I'll tell you what, I'm mad. I'm mad because I'm working and up in 12 till 6 tomorrow on deadline day, and I only get to see the last few hours. But they say the last few hours is the maddest, so maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah. You know, it's going to be interesting. I want Koundé. You know how much I like Koundé and how much I want him at our football club, so he'll be great. At the same time, I think we do have an issue with the central midfield thing. You know, not having a midfielder there, Kante already out injured. We don't know how long, still waiting, and only having Jorginho and Kovacic as our only outright midfielders may be an issue as to us moving forward in and challenging for a Premier League season. It may not be. We don't know. So, but the only thing I will say is we'll have to wait and see what will happen. I will be back to stream on transfer deadline day, or if we hear any news, positive news on Nigez or Koundé. So make sure you stay tuned. Smash the like button. Still 150 of you here. We had nearly 370 people tuned in today, which is a massive show for us. We're on our way to 2.5k in subscribers. We could easily do that off of this one stream if you all please subscribe. You can join our Discord channel as well, which is in the chat. It's in the description and in the chat, which Hassan's been putting in as well. Big up to Ram, who's in the chat as well. I hope he's well. Even though he's a Liverpool fan. And I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Long 2-hour show for you guys today as well. Like I said, continue smashing the like button. Let's try and get to 250 likes. Have a good rest of your day, whatever it is that you may be doing.
I know I will.
And I'll see you all again really, really soon, guys. Peace. Take care. See you in a bit.
VIP, stay low key, like bando bitch, oh please, yeah. Brand new whip, no keys, yeah. Get down on knees, yeah, yeah.